The goal of this presentation is for you to be able to identify the main parts of a constructed response or claim, a definition, citations, cement or analysis, and a conclusion. This is just an overview video. There is a video for each piece of how to write a constructed response. And a constructed response is just a paragraph writing in response to some type of prompt, something we're asking you to write about. So this is the beginning of analysis writing here. This isn't storytelling. Constructed responses aren't just your thoughts. Constructed responses are putting all pieces together for us to analyze or compare and contrast something. So let's go through these major pieces. The first part of our constructed response is a claim. This is the same as a topic sentence. It's a promise to our reader, and it just says something specific. We're not just restating the question. If the question says, analyze how setting impacts the characters, you don't want to just say, in this book, the setting impacts the characters. Of course it does. Tell us how. So the claim is something very specific, and we also don't want you to start with a question. In other types of writing, this is fine, but in an analysis, your first sentence should guide the way and clearly state what it is that you are writing about. The next piece, which does not appear in every constructed response, but if we're asking you to write about settings or characters or tone or mood or facts and opinions, we want to define any keywords from the prompt, from the question that you're writing about. We want you to use your own words. Don't just go to the dictionary and write a definition. Put it in your own words so it sounds like you. And this will help us keep our focus. If we're writing about characterization, you're going to define what characterization is, which will help us in our next steps. When we cite something, spelled with a C here, C-I-T-E, to cite something means to give evidence. So we're going to give specific examples from the reading. They might be word for word. It might be a paraphrase. It might be a summary. And the video on citations will go into details for all of those. And we also, as often as possible, want to include where we got it from, the source, and the page number, in case we want to go back and take a look. Once we have our citation, once we have our evidence, we want to cement it to the claim. We're going to connect it. How is this piece of evidence proving what we said we were going to prove in our claim? So it's called analysis or discussion. We just like the word cement here. This is taken from a book by a man named Alan Sithomer, who phrases these as claims, cites, and cements. They're not mine and Mr. Worley's own ideas. We want to explain why your evidence proves your point. Why is that example from your story a good example? We might need more than one sentence to explain this. Once we have claims and cement, and maybe you need more than one for one paragraph, we're going to write a conclusion sentence. We don't want to just restate the claim. We don't want to just copy our first sentence again. Instead, we're going to make a prediction, a call to action, or actually draw a conclusion. These are the steps of writing a constructed response. You should be very familiar with claim, cite, and cement, along with the definition and the conclusion. And please take a look at the other videos for how to develop each of these pieces in your own writing.